Hey folks, Randy here with Doing Cut and Trim. So I had a lot of people have been asking me to do a review of my shop. I use the Harbor Freight portable garage. And we're currently in the middle of a windstorm. It's almost like a hurricane in here. So I figured this would be the perfect time to go over my Harbor Freight shop, and you can see for the fact that it'll sustain 60-mile-an-hour winds, and it's only a little uncomfortable. So I'll get started. I'm just going to tell you right now, I did not do a great job putting the sucker together, so just, bear that in mind. But yeah, I'll show you what it is. So I'll give you a quick overview of how the thing's laid out, then we'll go into more details. So I'm standing at the front of the shop. I've got my trimmers hanging from wooden beams that I've hooked up to this shop, and then I've got my Toro Time Master sitting right there. This is just kind of a catch-all for crap I don't know what to do with. Just some extra wood just sitting there. I've got my belt grinder, or excuse me, my blade grinder, blade sharpener, whatever. Then this is the main bench where I do my work. I don't have the computer out here yet, but that's the TV that I hook the computer up to so that I can pull up parts online when I'm working on stuff with the YouTube videos. Obviously got some storage down there. That's my toolbox. I keep my blowers hung up here, and that's where I keep more tools, like specialty tools and fluids, stuff like that. That bin is full of parts that go into my mower, and for guys that just want to hang out and talk to me, they can sit there. They can also sit on, I think they call it a Viking chair. These things are pretty cool. I like those things. And the mower lift is right there, and you can put it down and lift the mower up. Obviously my 36-inch Toro Pro line is over here, and my steel yard boss that I need to work on is sitting right there. And we're back to the front. This is kind of like my quick mower lift. I can just throw this on the mower and get to the blades real quick, so I can just pick the mower up by hand. See if we'll get a good shot of these gusts moving stuff around. Nope, calm down. Okay. So, as you can see, the floor is all OSB. And what I actually did for the floor is up the back half of the... let me back up. The back half of the shop, starting right around here, that's actually a concrete pad under there. But then everything from there back is actually what I built, and it's not great, but basically what I did, give you another shot. You can see the wind really blowing. Basically what I did is I laid a bunch of what do you call them, pallets. I never throw anything away, so I had like 10-15 pallets sitting in my yard from different sod jobs that I've done. So I laid all the pallets that I needed out around here, and then what I did was I took what do you call that stuff? I took a tarp, a couple tarps actually, and laid it out over top of the pallets and also over top of the pad. You can see it's kind of lipped out over there. And then I put the OSB on top of that. It works great. Obviously the floor is very solid here, but it gets pretty spongy over here, and it's actually sunk. You can't really tell in the video, I don't think, but once the floor where the pallets are is actually sunk down, so it actually is like a little bit lower over there. But that's because I didn't do that great of a job putting that together. As far as the wood goes, what I actually did is I took that metal plumber strap, I think is what that's called, and strapped these 2x4s in. You can see I did that in all the different spots. And I did that so I'd be able to mount things. I like to be able to screw things in, kind of like, well, you see what I'm saying. Like I was able to screw that in and, hang the blowers, stuff like that. So that's why I did that. The plan is to actually cover this whole thing with siding. It actually is fairly solid. It'll get it like this is like a once every 10-year type windstorm. This never happens. So the fact that it's withstanding this makes me feel pretty comfortable that it's good to go. But basically there's going to be siding that goes on the sides, front and back, obviously. So I haven't really decided how exactly I'm going to do that, whether I'm going to buy like actual vinyl siding or get that wooden siding stuff that comes in the 4x8 sheets. Not sure. And then for the roof, I'm going to use that honestly, I don't know what it's called. It's that plastic. It looks like a, those metal roofs, like they have that like corrugated look to it. You know what I'm talking about? Well, they make plastic versions of that are see-through, and so I want to get that and put those up here, and then obviously put the caps on them, so that way light's still shining through. So there's a lot of natural light that comes in here, which I really like. Everything is lit up using using these floodlights. So, and it goes down to here. I can put a little goodness, I don't want to trip, a little switch, as you can see. So you switch that, and we got light. And actually, that's good enough to lighten up this whole, deal. But I'm actually going to get another one installed. It's not a big deal. The fixture is $12, and then the lights I can get on Amazon for like another, I think, 13 or 14. So that way, there's just that much brighter in here. Yeah, that's kind of the plan for that. So going into a little bit more detail now. So everything, like all the metal, is actually screwed into the base. So that's all screwed into the pallets. So I'm trying to find an actual, like here's actually an example. Like 'cause we're on the pad now, and these are probably the main reason why this sucker hasn't blown away. But these straps are actually anchored down into the concrete pad itself, and so that's why this sucker's not blowing away, because it definitely wants to. So going a bit more in depth and taking my time on the shop. So when I first enter in, obviously this is the entrance. I got the trimmers kind of hanging there just because it's convenient, and the same thing with the mower. This stuff will be on the truck, generally speaking. But this is kind of like my catch-all. This is just kind of where I put junk that I don't know where else to put it. There's also some wood here. Obviously my grinder station, I got it sitting like that. Obviously this isn't going to work. It's going to have to get, angled out or something. That's not going to work either, but you get what I'm saying. This is my main workbench. This is actually made out of all, what's the word I'm looking for? I just said it like 7 times. This is all made out of pallets. The only thing that's not is the MDF top, which I really should have painted, but didn't, so oh well. But this is where I do the bulk of my work. When I'm working on anything, that's I work on it. I did a really crappy gas can review that did not get posted, and that's why that stuff's there. Oh, okay. But yeah, I got the monitor already out, but we're bringing the desktop out. That's gonna go underneath, probably get mounted under here somehow. So that way, when I'm working on a mower or any kind of equipment, if I need a part, instead of like going back and forth between the shop and the inside to look at the computer, I can just do it right from there, order it from the shop. Way easier. Spare parts. This is a real piece of junk I got from Harbor Freight. I thought it was going to be better than it was. It's pretty bad. That'll get replaced at some point. Obviously, blowers are hung up there, which I really like. Here's my toolbox, which I'm very proud of. I did a lot of work organizing this sucker so I'd actually be able to find my tools. So 90% of the time, anything I need is in this drawer. That's 3/8, 1/4 inch, and These are metric. I need to get a standard kit as well, but I like these because they go from 8 to 19 without skipping sizes. That's the same thing with here. My 3/8 goes from 8 to 19, and then my 1/4 inch goes from 5 to 14. And I really like the fact that nothing skips, and you know, it's like obviously shallow and deep sockets. Just really good sets. They're from Tecton, really cool. And then of course, you know, you got the ratchet, the impact wrench. Just really like that. But that's 90% of the time, that's what I'm using to work on stuff. Got all my pliers and things, you know, oil filter pliers, snap ring pliers, you know, all that fun stuff. All my T-handle stuff, you know, I eventually, I'm going to get rid of all this junk and get something that's a bit more organized. I really like, you know, like this style, and then you can just put a handle on it if you want to. So at some point I'm going to upgrade this stuff, but it's not really on my radar right now. And then just more sockets. Those are my 1/2 inch sockets that have survived. Obviously I did not take good care of them. These are my pass-through sockets. Again, doesn't skip sizes, which is pretty cool. Metric and SAE. Some specialty sockets that pretty much never get used. This is an example actually of why I had to get organized though, because you see how I've got 3 of these, actually excuse me, 4 of them, 3 Harbor Freight ones and 1 nice one. It's because I kept losing those things. Those are like the serpentine belt deals that you use to, like, you know, take the tension off the pulley. I kept losing them and buying them, and so I actually took the opportunity to organize the shop and found I got 4 of them. Okay, and then just, you know, odds and ends stuff, all just like heavy stuff, big hammers, small hammers, clamps, bolt cutters, fun stuff. Okay, then over here got all my nut drivers and screwdrivers. I was about to say you can never have too many of those, but I'm actually pretty sure that's not true. This is kind of like a catch-all electronics deal, with the exception of the pipe cleaners and the garbage 3/8 gun. That thing is a piece of junk, man. But I actually just had to completely rewire my truck, so that's why this is basically empty, because I had to take pretty much everything out of it to rewire all the lights. And then this is a drawer that honestly I just never touched, and I just kind of decided it was kind of like a measuring stuff, but most of this stuff never gets used. And then all my power tools go in here. I'm basically a rigid Milwaukee 12-volt guy, but I'm working on just on going over to Milwaukee only. Right now I've got my rigid, I've got the drill driver, and then I've got the impact gun. The impact gun's not in here, but then I also got, I really think this system is pretty cool, because you got the base, but then you got the, what do you call it, the reciprocating saw attachment, the what do you call this again? I can't remember. The oscillating tool attachment. There we go. Somewhere in here. There we go. Got the jigsaw attachment. So really cool system. Really like it. But rigid doesn't do as good a job as Milwaukee does. So that's why I'm switching over to them. So down here, just hardware. You know. These are self-tapping screws, O-rings, electrical attachments, a little bit of chain, screws, more of that plumbing strap or whatever, just stuff. I got more stuff that, like I said, I mean, obviously got the heat shrink tubing, just, you know, just go ahead and get put away instead of just pointing it out. All my fluids are in here, engine oil, chain oil, carb clean, a couple kinds of WD-40, some Marvel mystery oil, all kinds of fun stuff. And then down here, specialty tools, kind of. These are my impact sockets, 1/2 inch. This is a wheel puller set, compression test kit, helicoil kit. You saw me use that in a video. My kit for repairing leaky tires and replacing Schrader valves, fun stuff like that. And that's just extra junk down there. Actually, I think this is where all my yeah, this kit is my Dremel tool stuff. And then, like I said, everything in here is spare parts for my mower. A bunch of sulky wheels. Actually new, not new, but poached shroud cover. So you can see this shroud cover is in pretty good shape, whereas this one is pretty rusty. Looks kind of rough. And if you notice, this one says it's a Kohler Command 14, while the other one's at 12.5. So if I ever go to sell this mower, I could lie to someone and get more money. And then moving over here, you know, this is actually the first woodworking project I ever did. It's like the $20 bench. I think it's what is it, 2x8, and yeah, or two 2x8s. I can't remember now, but very easy project to put together. I did this like when we moved into my house, so it's been like 6 or 7 years, but pretty cool. Then we got the cheapo mower jack from Harbor Freight. They got like a nicer one now. This is the cheap one. It's pretty nice. It can lift the front of this mower no problem, or the back of this mower with assistance. So it's honestly, it's been a lifesaver, especially when I'm working on transmissions, which if you've been following my channel, you know I spent a long time working on the transmission on this mower. So that lift came in handy, because then I was able to have the transmission like at eye level as opposed to having to get down there. So but yeah, there's the machine I'll be using this year. And yeah, we're back to the beginning. The steel yard boss that I gotta get working, because I actually have the what is that thing called? What is it that I'm talking about? I've got the dethatching attachment. I've got the dethatching attachment that goes on this. Right now, that's the tilling attachment, but you can take those off and actually put a dethatcher on it, which makes this machine pretty valuable to me. So I actually got this sucker for a steal. I bought it with the dethatcher attachment. Guy sold it to me for 125 bucks. Brand new with all the attachments that I got that came with it. This would have been like a $600 machine, so it's pretty cool. And then I guess if you cared, underneath, that's my very, very cheap but good enough welder that I got from Harbor Freight, just in case I want to set anything on fire. And then a little compressor for airing up tires, and fans for when I get hot. And that's I mean, that's pretty much it. So that's it. I kept putting this video off and then trying to make it, and then it not working out. So I was like, let me try again. I'm pretty sure I got it this time. It's still messy. I wish I could have gotten it clean, but you know, stuff happens. But yeah, this is my shop. You know, I mean, I run a business that I'm not huge. You know, I'm still running by myself. But you know, you don't have to go out and spend a ton of money to make this thing happen. You know, I would love to have had a much nicer shop, and there's like a lot of me, there's a huge part of me that really wishes I hadn't gotten this and just saved up my money and bought something really nice. But then on the other side, it's like, you know what, I got this, I only paid 180 bucks for it, you know, maybe 300 bucks when you count what I spent to do the flooring, and it's perfect for me, and I can basically upgrade it as I go. And I'm not in debt. That's the big thing. I don't owe anybody anything for this. It's mine. So yeah, you know, I feel like I've got a pretty decent sized business at this point. You know, nobody thinks I do, because I run older equipment and I haven't gone into debt. I'm not running around with a $100,000 setup, but you know, I'm able to get it done. So, you know, I think I guess one of the hang-ups I had with showing you this video and I guess I'll just put it out there now, is, you know, you do kind of struggle with how people perceive you, you know, because a lot of people perceive me as not doing as good as I am, but it's because I don't put anything on credit. You know, I think most people, if they realized a lot of these mowers are 10 grand brand new, or just, you know, how much money goes into these setups, I think they would understand, but they don't, and they don't really care, so it doesn't matter. And I'm getting a little rambly now, but you know, I guess what I'm trying to say is a lesson that I've really had to try to learn, and I'm still learning, because I still struggle with this, is not worrying about what other people think of me when they see what I've got. You know, just the fact that I know what I have and what it's worth, letting that be enough. It's not easy to do, but, you know, yeah, my shop is pretty darn cheap. That's okay. You know, I'm making money with it. My stuff's protected, and I'm making it happen. You know, if God forbid something happened to this business, I'd be fine. You know, there's zero debt associated with this company, and it's going to stay that way. So, don't know what that was about at the end, but whatever, it happened, and we're keeping it in. So this is Randy with Dual and Cut and Trim. Have a good one.